Hello there, everybody. It is me, Sacred G. I hope you guys are all doing very well. Before we get this unpopular Fallout opinion started, I do want to say thank you guys so much for the 82 subs. That it means quite a whole fuck ton to me. I know it's been a while, not a while, but it's been a week since I made a video. I'm trying to get adjusted to my new job. I guess to give you guys an update, I was underpaid. They only had me down for like one day when I worked there for about almost 2 fucking weeks. Anywho, they should have it squared away Monday, the 19th of this month. Anywho, today's topic is a video game discussion. We're going to geek out in this video. I want to talk about specifically a quest in Fallout 4 that gets a lot of shit. So this may be controversial to some people. Here we go. So if you're wondering what quest this is the little side quest or random encounter, I guess if you want to call it that. It's actually always going to be there, so it's a side quest called Kid in the Fridge. You know, where the ghoul child is trapped in the fridge for 200 years. Yeah, I know. I don't know how that's controversial, at least to me. And before we do get into it, I do want to state this is all my opinion. This is a, I guess, Fallout hot take, I guess if you want to call it. And the main complaint I hear, and this is mainly what I'm talking about, is the fact that this quest ruined and fucked up the lore for ghouls. And I don't think so. I don't think so. So I'm going to kind of walk through the quest a little bit with my voice. And so pretty much you're coming up along this fridge and you hear a kid calling out for help. You could choose to leave him in there, of course, or of course help him. And then if you help him and you open the fridge, you could tell him his parents are dead and just let him pretty much leave him out in the wasteland or guide him home. So anyways, you choose to guide him home. Along your way, before you reach the house, a gunner by the name of Bullet shows up, asks you to buy the kid, and he says this.
What's a ghoul child worth?
Hey, you can't sell me.
Plenty. I'll give you 200 caps. Ghouls are immune to radiation, don't age, and don't need to eat. You can work 'em real hard.
Never. Billy stays with me.
Suit yourself.
So he pretty much asks if he pretty much says that ghouls don't need to eat or drink. This is where the controversy comes in, and I don't think Bethesda fucked the ghouls. I think this dude, honestly, in my humble opinion, I personally think the dude was lying to you to try to make the transaction seem, or would go easy for him. He's literally lying. I don't know why. That's one of my theories. We don't actually know. No one actually knows if this was Bethesda's intent, and I don't think it was. And not only that, from what I looked up, there has never been a ghoul child, at least that I know of. If I'm wrong, I would like somebody to point this out in the comments and say, hey, Sacred G, you done fucked up. There is actually a ghoul child in Fallout 1 you could talk to. I don't know, but from what I've seen, there has not been a ghoul child where you can interact with them, much like in this quest here. So, with that said, that it could be an addition retcon, which is they're adding a new element to the game, okay? Not only that, as I stated, to go back to where I was talking about how Bullet could be lying, he could just be lying, again, to tell you, or to have the transaction go smoothly, because obviously this guy's a piece of shit, to be honest, and he's trying to basically get a child slave, oh, shut up, tablet. Anywho, a child slave to work for him, which, you know, is probably one of the darkest quests I think I've played in Bethesda Fallout, to be honest. I just don't see how this is controversial and ruining the lore for the ghouls. I don't. It's not even just like a multiple occurrence where you run into characters telling you repeatedly that ghouls don't need to eat or drink, especially the Brotherhood of Steel, who actually hate super mutants and also hate ghouls. They don't tell you this. So this guy was full of shit, or it was a typo or something, and he meant to say it was meant to be that ghoul children, but I doubt it. I think he was full of crap, and I don't know, man. And apparently I heard that radiation, I could be wrong here too, but apparently radiation in the Fallout lore slows down, at least for the ghouls, not the feral ones, but the ghouls that you can run and talk to, that it slows down their metabolism. And you gotta remember, Billy's a child. When you're young, like that young, you have a high motherfucking metabolism. And so maybe the radiation probably fucked with his metabolism and just probably stopped it completely and just left it there for, however long it is. Or for the 200 years Billy claimed that he was, trapped in that fridge for. Okay, I don't know why people get worked up over some dude coming up and obviously trying to purchase a child from you, and not only that, to use him for slave labor. And they think that he spoke fact, that this is what Bethesda intended, was to fuck with the lore. No! Dude, this guy's a piece of shit. And I understand when people, this is what I heard, I don't know if this is true or not, but apparently somebody asked Pete Hines what the point was, what the fuck was up with this quest. He said it was a joke. I could see where he's coming from, it's the Indiana Jones thing yet again, where somebody's trapped in the fridge, har har har, it's not Indiana Jones, he became a ghoul. He was affected while hiding in the fridge, whatever. However, that does not mean that they were fucking with the lore. As a matter of fact, I find this quest specifically to be more interesting than aggravating, due to the sole fact that, from what I've looked up, there has not been an instance of a quest in any of the previous Fallout games where you can interact with a ghoul child. Ghoul children! Again, this is my opinion, and if I'm wrong, please leave a link to a video where there's a ghoul child in Fallout 1 or 2 or New Vegas or 3 that I may have missed, except for I haven't played the first 2 games. But I haven't seen any quest similar to this at all, where you interact with a ghoul child. Pretty sure they do exist. I'm not saying they don't in the previous games. I just haven't seen anything because I've looked it up. And there was nothing that came up. The only thing that comes up are discussions about this fucking quest, Kid in the Fridge. And I just don't understand this. The reason why this is a controversial thing that they did, because it to me just seems like they just added a new element to the game or to the franchise where now there's ghoulified children. And with my theory that maybe the radiation stopped his metabolism completely. I'm not saying like it got rid of it, but I'm saying it stopped it where it's at and it was forever there. He didn't really need to eat shit. Who knows? It's a fucking video game at the end of the day. Anywho, that's my thoughts on this. I personally don't understand the controversy with this at all. Again, my opinion. And if you didn't like this quest, that's fine. If you want to think that Bethesda's ruining the fucking lore, I guess that's fine too. You're entitled to your opinion. I don't personally care. However, I just think, dude, this is just ridiculous, and I don't know, does not seem to me, at least, that they're trying to screw up the games or screw up the franchise and all that bullshit. It's a silly quest that is in a video game, and that really, I think, added more to the franchise than it needed to, I guess. I don't know. Like, the only complaint I would have with this quest is that they didn't really go into how ghoul children really are. Like, this is the first time this happens. Like, this is what should have been criticized, is the fact that they didn't really kind of explain how a ghoulified child's anatomy works, I guess you could say. Like, if they still have metabolism, which I'm pretty sure they do, I don't know. However, that's just my thoughts. I personally do not see the problem with this quest. I think it's actually a fun quest and a very good one if you're playing as a fucked up character. I mean, this is, again, Bethesda's way of throwing in edgy things, but, disguising it as a kid who's been alive for like 200 years, so he's pretty much like 200 years old. It's edgy, that's all I can say. I mean, again, the only complaint I have is that they didn't fucking elaborate, or not elaborate, but they didn't explain how ghoulified children work, because again, this is the only instance this happens. That's another point I want to make, is that this is the only time, bro, this happens. This is not a big deal Like, if it was being said throughout the entire game, besides this quest alone, like, throughout many, like, of the major factions, again, the Brotherhood of Steel, then I can understand the frustration the older fans would have. I just don't see how this is fucking up the lore. I mean, this is the only time this happens, and maybe they didn't mean for Bullet to say, oh, well, ghouls don't need to eat or drink. It's probably a mistake, if anything. But however, again, my opinion, that's what I think. I don't let this shit ruin the game for me, so I'll see you guys in the next video, and thank you for watching. And again, if I'm wrong, leave it down in the comments, but be civil. Please, for the love of God, be civil. Don't call me an idiot or anything like that. Let's just be civil in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next motherfucking video. You guys be safe. Seriously, and again, thank you guys so much for the 82 subs. That's awesome. I'll see you in the next video. Peace the fuck out.